the whole thing is somewhat confusing when you work on a picture for like as long as I've been working on Mad God. When you're done shooting, you're just kind of lost because you acquire some kind of a postpartum depression, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm working through right now. Is just like letting this thing settle. There's still more work to be done on it, but it's more post production. Everything changed in the process of doing it, like these things do. So I had like this general idea for it was more like a feeling. I had like about 8 pages of material. That's pretty much what I worked from. Is I knew the basic narrative through line that I wanted, and because it was kind of a balance between breaking a narrative and creating one. So it was kind of things that were at odds with each other. What it was really inspired was when I was like about 10 years old. My dad showed me a book of Hieronymus Bosch paintings, and I'd always wanted to make some kind of a movie that was a version of a Bruegel or Bosch paintings, and that had that same kind of feeling. That particularly Bosch was a lot more playful than Bruegel. Bruegel displayed like the events that were going on at his time relatively realistically, and Bosch created these phantasmagorical images of heaven and hell, and his hell stuff was really interesting to me because at once it's horrific, and at the same time there's a playful and quizzical element to it, and I wanted to find some kind of a balance that was kind of like that, because the deeper I got into making the thing, the more heavy it was and grotesque, and I just wanted something that would lift it up. So I started trying to infuse what I had with more, or what I was going to be doing with more. And it's kind of hard to call it humor, but it's just like a little bit more lightness. Some of the humor is dark, and so some people don't get that. But it was to just try and find this balance between the two. And now that I've got pretty much all of it assembled, I realized that this battle, was a failure, because there wasn't any way to, without being like really gaggy, balance the horror and the humor. Yeah, so the thing about Bosch that I really liked that was that his fantastic, phantasmagorical world was a reflection of his time. And if you go back and you read the literature of what the different things meant, there would be like some weird gnome thing with like a funnel on his head. And so that meant something that doesn't mean anything to us now. Or if you go back in literature, you can see what it meant to the people at that time. But what I wanted to try and do something like that. So, to me, a lot of it is it's not a chronicle, but it's like it's a version of our time in terms of its kind of schizophrenia, and that was the intent.